This is a strange world that we live in, and these are indeed strange times. And if you want to understand them, you gotta have a strange mind.
We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome. You are watching Cambridge Community Television. This show is Clinical Depression, Finding No Pleasure at All in Most Activities, a show in which we explore the condition of clinical depression and how it informs the culture. I know how busy you must be. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out tonight with our esteemed co-host, Evan Fox.
Yes, your esteemed co-host, Evan Fox, and his extra special guest, his tremendous, shiny forehead.
Yeah, looking good.
Sweet Jesus.
I like it. Here we have special guest, Mike Settlow. If you have spent any time at all on the local Boston comedy scene over the last few years, you have bumped into Mike probably. He's the guy who has the really long hair. If you've ever been down to the Comedy at the End of the World on Wednesday nights down at the Tavern at the End of the World in Sullivan Square, Mike is the host there once in a while. You always know it's going to be a good night when you see Mike. He's a good guy. Everybody loves Settlow. He's a good man. Mike, dude, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much for coming down.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Dude, we...
Thank you.
You know, Mike's stand-up comedian, and as you know, probably my comedic hero, Rodney Dangerfield. He was diagnosed as clinically depressed. Robin Williams, we know all about that as well. It's very, you know, they seem, you would think that they are opposites, comedy and depression, Mike, but somehow, what do they go together? Like, comedy comes from, like, which one comes first, man?
I mean, comedy can be a great way to deal with your depression. Rodney Dangerfield is a great example because almost all of his jokes are making fun of himself, because you have to belittle your depression, otherwise your depression belittles you.
Doesn't it? It's a very good insight. And you know, when I'm watching Rodney, it's like, the dumber the better, Rodney. Keep it coming. It actually makes me feel better. It's actually funny.
No, it does, because it's good that you relate to someone. It's like, he feels bad about himself, but look, he's getting some chuckles out of it. And really, like, when you're feeling down, you just want people to hang out with and have a good time with them. And it's good to see someone that has similar issues as you being, like, he's the center of attention. Everyone loves him. People are going to buy him a drink after the show. Like, that's, you know, that's why, part of why I started doing comedy, just to get out, hang out with people. You have to fight your depression absolutely every single day.
Did you, I have actually read up on depression recovery techniques, and one of them is to force yourself to be around people no matter how crappy you're feeling. And so did you just come across that, like, intuitively, or like the whole thing of being around, how being around people can help alleviate the acute symptoms of depression?
Oh, I mean, I noticed that when I was hanging out with my friends, I was at least distracted from whatever issues were going on. So I'd always want to hang out with my friends. Who doesn't like to hang out with their friends? You know, sometimes you can talk to your friends about your issues, but if you do it too much, you kind of let your friends down, because they give you advice and they want to help. And if they see that they're helping and you're not getting any better, you can depress them, and then they don't want to hang out with you as much. I mean, I used to spend a lot of time playing video games, watching TV, and what wasn't helping me too much. I just decided that I was going to start going out, hanging out with people, finding new people, because, you know, your high school friends and your college friends move away and they're no longer around. You got to find new people to hang out with.
So how did you discover the local comedy open mic scene? Like what was your eureka moment of like, I am going to this particular open mic, I'm going to do it for the first time ever, and this is what I'm going to say? Like how did that happen?
So I was there have been a lot of genuinely famous comedians who have had bits that have helped me realize things about myself to help me pull myself out of depression. And it occurred to me that a lot of funny comics come from Boston, so there's got to be a local scene. So use the internet, look for stuff, saw a couple of shows, pay $5, $10 here, go to a place, have a couple of drinks, shake hands with people after the show. It's a little bit of social interaction, and then, go home, watch something on TV, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, and go to another show afterwards. And eventually I realized, you don't have to be brilliant off the bat. People work themselves up, and I developed the courage to just get up there and do that. And people seemed to think I was a cool dude, and I found more people to hang out with.
Yeah, I saw you, as I was talking to you earlier, I caught Mike at the Monday night open mic at Sally O'Brien's, maybe 2014, and you were like on your second joke and you got a big laugh, and then you were like, well, okay, you're laughing, I'm going to stop right now. And it was very Mitch Hedberg, and it always stayed in my mind. I was like, I thought it was brilliant, and it always brings a chuckle to my mind whenever I think about that. I always saw you as like a very like likable person, like a very like. Do you find that? Is that a burden for you that you're so likable?
Well, it's been something that I've worked on over the course of over a decade, because I mean, I've been really depressed in the past. Really hated myself, tried to take myself out, but that's over a decade ago. But
people never believe that of like friendly, affable, intelligent, good-looking people like you and me and Evan.
Don't rope me into that.
It's kind
Evan's
of
good looking.
It's kind of a learned act, if you will. Like, you see your friends or people on TV and in movies where it's just like, that guy seems to have it together. It's better when it's your friends, because when they're on TV, they're written to have it together. But you can observe your friends and try to figure out, like, okay, so he's doing this, and that's why people think that person's cool. And, oh man, when they have this issue, they deal with it that way, and it seems to be really effective. So over the years, I learned to slowly change who I am into someone that I am actually happier being. You don't have to be the sad, depressed person that you feel like you are. You can change. It's just going to take a really long time and a tremendous amount of effort.
That makes perfect sense to me. I don't think I ever thought it through that clearly for myself. And that's exactly what I do. I'm always like, okay, well, as you're saying, nobody likes the big party pooping Eeyore sad sack. I got to try to, I know I stumbled across, I think that was my first way that I felt any kind of belonging with people. I remember the first time I cracked a joke like in first grade, and I was like, okay, this is my way in. Because my dad trained me in humor. My dad never spoke. We had to speak in jokes. We had to speak in cynical jokes. That was the only way that you get his attention, or that he'd talk back to you and have a conversation. And so he, trained me in humor, and I don't know where I started, where I was going. What was I saying even? What was I even
You
talking
were
about?
basically talking about the start of humor for yourself, like how you, like Mike, viewed humor as like, that's your way in, that's where you start with getting to know people. You went a lot farther back than he did. which is great.
Mike reminded me of that. Yeah, and so as you're saying, so yeah, nobody wants to talk to some guy who's like a high maintenance sad sack. So yeah, you do work at it, and then it does become second nature. So what the hell happened to Robin Williams? Maybe everybody didn't think he's funny, but he undeniably knew humor. What happened? Would he just get old and senile? And like, how does that happen? How do people who work so hard for so long and have such success and are so funny? How does that happen?
I mean, it's sad, and no one's ever going to truly know the answer because the only guy that knows it all the way is no longer with us.
Right.
But I mean, there are some people that said that he had a degenerative illness that was coming on, and he didn't want his family to see him degrade and
Right.
just like fall apart. And there's also the possibility, like, I mean, he's been famous for a long time. He's done a lot of stuff, a lot of the best stuff ever. He like the likelihood of him, doing that level of stuff again, like you've already set the bar so high, you don't want to do things that fall short of that too many times because you don't feel as good. I mean, he was brilliant all the way to the end. I mean, the dark stuff that he was doing, like those were some really good movies. The guest
brilliant.
appearance he had on Wilfred.
Yeah. That was
that's
pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, if you that show is a good allegory for mental illness. If you ever need to relate with someone, watch that. Really good.
What is it called?
Wilfred.
Wilfred.
Yeah, it's you'll be able to stream it somewhere. I don't know.
I will find it and check it out. Yeah,
I think you will really enjoy it.
Thanks, guys. I will check it out. Yeah, I guess I've had personally way too many people who I've been close to and loved who have committed suicide. I'm always like, how does that happen? I think you really got to choose it and nurture it the same way you nurture your own strength and health. I think at a certain point you just have to. You have to choose that, I guess. I shouldn't be worried about myself. You just have to keep working hard.
Yeah. Some people, the want for instant gratification can really screw you up sometimes because, it's like, I've been trying for 3 months and I don't feel any better yet. And it's not that short of a journey. It takes so long to get there. And every time you get to a milestone, you're a little bit higher up and you just see, I actually have way further to go on this than I did before, but I'm picking up momentum. I kind of know the ropes a little bit, and it stops feeling like an act at some point. It starts to feel genuine. And I've had friends that have told me, like, I can't just become a different person. That's fake. That's not being true to myself. But you're already not being true to yourself. You dislike yourself. You may have tried to kill yourself, or you've thought about it. That's not being true to yourself. Be who you want to be. You can do it. Anyone can.
Mike, you're an inspiration. You make it easier, dude. Thanks for coming down. We're just getting warmed up, but it's time for Jillian.
Yeah.
We could talk all night. I would love to have you back on the show some other time, Mike.
I'll come back some other time.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, dude.